For the latest recruiting and Sooner news, catch Tyler McComas and Parker Thune on Locked In. Weekday afternoons from 2 to 3, right here on your home for Sooner fans, the Ref Sports Radio Network. You're listening to the home of Sooner fans, KREF, Norman, Oklahoma, and streaming live on the KREF app. The Ref Sports Radio Network.
Connect directly, bid confidently. At Purple Wave Auction, transparency is key. With no reserves and no hidden surprises, you're connected directly to sellers so you can inspect and bid on quality equipment with confidence. Whether you're looking for ag, construction, or fleet equipment, we're here to ensure a clear, hassle-free experience. Register today at purplewave.com and start bidding with peace of mind. Purple Wave Auction, the easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment.
Every day, we rise, challenging ourselves to work for what we believe in. At U.S. Border Patrol, protecting our borders is more than a job. It's a calling. Agents answer the call, working together to keep our country and communities safe. If you're ready for a new mission, join U.S. Border Patrol and go beyond. Learn more at cbp.gov/careers/Border Patrol.
Ever wonder why someone would leave the roads they know for places they don't? Maybe a better question is, what are you waiting for? Pacifico is brewed for those who follow their own path. That's living life anchors up.
Fowler Automotive is proud to be a part of your community, where our passion and values lie far beyond the showroom. We believe that families, sports, art, and culture are at the heart of every thriving community, and it's important to us that we help build the communities that our dealerships call home. Stop by any of our 6 Oklahoma dealerships to see the Fowler standard hard at work. We pride ourselves on being friendly, helpful, honest, and fair. This is what drives us every day. Fowler Automotive, a proud partner of OU Athletics.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, 2-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
For auto, home, life, or business insurance, see Shelter Agent Brian McPherson.
From the gridiron, to the hardwood, to the diamond, no one covers the Sooners like we do. If it's Sooner Sports, we have you covered 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. This is the home of Sooner fans.
What's better than tailgating for football on the weekends? Let the 12th Avenue Chick-fil-A in Norman make you a winner. Whatever you need, we have it. Don't worry about packing everything from home. Let us deliver it to you. Not only do we cater for football games, name the event, and it will be our pleasure to serve you. Need pre- or post-game meals? Having a birthday party? Monday through Saturday, we've got you covered. And even trays prep for those Sundays when you crave Chick-fil-A. Call the 12th Avenue Chick-fil-A at 405-310-3189 today.
Give Hell the Bird with Mallard Construction and Roofing. Mallard Construction and Roofing is your full-service residential roofing and restoration company. Family-owned and operated, Mallard wants to make a difference in every aspect of the process from bidding to completion of the job. As 2023 Reader's Choice Awards Best Roofer, we have all the tools necessary to make your job successful. Give Hell the Bird today and call Mallard Construction and Roofing at 405-364-4501 for your free quote.
Also, schedule a roof inspection today with Mallard and enter their Jeep giveaway contest.
Hi, my name is John Herman, and I'm a dad with 2 kids at Monroe Elementary School and a son at Alcott Middle School. This past year, my 4th grade daughter was invited to preach at McFarland Memorial United Methodist Church. McFarland is our return to Center Place, where after long weeks of practices and rehearsals, I know my kids can find a place where they are loved and supported. If you're looking for a church like that, I've got a seat saved for you.
The Ref Radio Sports Network is powered statewide by the insurance adjusters at Brown O'Haver. Fire, wind, theft, or tornado, we can help. Call 405-735-5510. Live from the Buffalo Wild Wings Studios, it's time to get locked in to the best Sooner recruiting and football news with Tyler McComas and Parker Thune.
You better lock it up. You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up.
Hit the guys up on the Riverwind Casino calling line at 405-329-9000. Text the show on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line at 405-651-3439.
Do it! Just do it!
Now, with Locked In, here's Tyler McComas and Parker Thune.
Well, 1 week from today is going to be the biggest day for recruiting. 2025 class, early signing period 1 week from today. And hey, we might have some interesting things to look forward to, some interesting things to watch out for. 1 week from today, Caleb Burns, who visited for the OU-Alabama game this past weekend, sounds like he's going to make a decision 1 week from today. OU, Baylor, where he's currently committed, and Oregon as well. Michael Fasusi is still committed to Oklahoma, but maybe we'll get a final decision on that day if he sticks with Oklahoma or not. So, Parker, we don't necessarily always have just a ton of things to look forward to on signing day. And not that there's like 6 or 7 interesting things, but as it pertains to Michael Fasusi, as it pertains to Caleb Burns, and maybe someone else, I definitely think next Wednesday could be a very exciting and hopefully a very good one for OU in the 25 class.
You'd hope it's uneventful, Tyler. I think that's what you're hoping for going into signing day. If you get Caleb Burns, great. If not, it's not the end of the world. You got Brent Venables. You got Zach Alley. You figure you're going to be just fine at the linebacker position with or without Caleb Burns. What you're really hoping right now, if you're an Oklahoma fan, is that nothing comes out of the blue next Wednesday. It's not a scenario where, God forbid, the DJ Hicks situation replicates itself and Michael Fasusi signs with A&M over Oklahoma, or, Cortez Mills all of a sudden decides, you know what, I want to stay home. I want to play at the University of Florida. Or I want to play at Miami or something. Like, if next Wednesday is an uneventful signing day, I think when you're in a position like Oklahoma is in, and like a position similar to the position that they were in last year, no news is good news on National Signing Day. And so if you just get the 20 guys signed that are currently committed to the Sooners right now in the 2025 cycle, then great. You know what? If you add one in Caleb Burns, that's a cherry on top, but don't feel like you need it necessarily.
Yeah. Well, are we still calling it signing day, by the way? Is it early signing day, early signing period? I mean, things just changed so much, changing so much with recruiting now. We still calling it signing day?
Early, well, yeah, I mean, yeah. They're still signing. They're just signing financial aid agreements instead of national letters of intent. So it's still a signing day.
Yeah, still a signing day. 1 week from today, we'll see what happens. But Michael Fasusi, need him to sign 1 week from today. That's the crown jewel of the class that has not changed. It was really the number one target that we've been talking about for OU's class for several months now because of how highly rated he is, because the position of need, where he's at on the offensive line. And it sounds like he's still going to make that visit to Texas A&M. It seems like all has been quiet on the Michael Fasusi front, and maybe that sounds odd because he did just take the Texas visit, and he's about to take a Texas A&M visit less than 1 week until the early signing day. But is there anything concrete, anything new when it comes to Michael Fasusi in Oklahoma and Texas, or even Texas A&M?
Nothing concrete, no. And at this point, Tyler, my feeling on Fasusi and his visits to Texas and Texas A&M is that he's just given himself options. He's given himself insurance policies. If there is a world where maybe Bill Bedenbaugh isn't retained under the next offensive coordinator, every indication that I have is that Bill Bedenbaugh is going to be back on Oklahoma's staff next year. That's not a concern. And as long as Oklahoma has their offensive coordinator hire finalized by signing day, which you would fully expect, I don't think it takes longer than 24, maybe 48 hours after the season season finale against LSU, As long as you get your next offensive coordinator on the horn with Michael Fasusi before signing day and you let him know, hey, I'm not getting rid of Bill Bedenbaugh. Bill Bedenbaugh's going to be here. That's probably all that Fasusi will need to go ahead and put pen to paper for the Sooners.
By the way, on Caleb Burns, Rivals had a short little write-up about him today, little blurb. It says, Oklahoma has definitely climbed up for Burns following his visit over the weekend when he saw the Sooners take down Alabama. The 3-star backer remains committed to Baylor. but is serious about others as well. OU and Oregon are the other key players in his recruitment. He is not sure on a final decision among the three. Sounds like we're going to find out coming up next Wednesday. He is the number 71 overall player in the state of Texas, a 3-star out of Cypress Falls, 6'1", 210.
And let's be clear here. He's not going to Oregon.
Yeah, they seem like the odd team out at this point.
It's between two schools right now. It's either the kid sticks with Baylor or he flips to Oklahoma. Now, there's a very real world where either possibility happens, either outcome occurs. And so I truly don't know, Tyler, and I'm not sure the kid knows. He kind of insinuated, no, I got a pretty good idea, but he's taken one more visit this weekend. He's going back to Baylor. So if you have your mind completely made up, why feel the need to take another visit? To me, that suggests Caleb Burns is still a little bit unsure of the final decision between Baylor and OU. So this is one that Oklahoma's got to close on. Zach Alley and Brent Venables got to close on. And the onus is on them to do so because it's as simple as this. Either you get him or you don't. There's nobody else seriously in the picture. He's not going to Oregon. It's either he sticks with Baylor or he flips to Oklahoma. So let's see what kind of chops Zach Alley has as a recruiter. This is really the very first time that we're going to see his chops put to the test because the Sooners' only linebacker commit in the 2025 class, Marcus James, he was committed before Zach Alley got to town.
Yeah. Well, just kind of a random thought on this whole Caleb Burns thing and the fact that he's going to Baylor again this weekend. Almost always it's not, necessarily a great thing that if you're pursuing a kid and he takes one more visit to another school, especially so close to signing day. But, here's a weird thought, Parker, and maybe this wouldn't be the ultimate decision maker. I wonder if in at least one way it might be a good thing for OU that he takes one final visit to Baylor. Because there is no chance that the atmosphere that he saw last Saturday in Norman will come anywhere close to what he's going to see at McLean Stadium on Saturday.
Boy, ain't that the truth.
You know what I mean? It's like, whoa, I saw that in Oklahoma last weekend, and now I saw this in Waco for the Baylor-Kansas game. One is not like the other, so I kind of like the other place a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see. That's a very good point, Tyler. There's absolutely no way. And I've been to McLean Stadium, right? We all have been to McLean Stadium. I say we all. Not everyone listening has been to McLean Stadium, but a lot of you have. Oklahoma's played there on numerous occasions throughout the years. I like it. It's a good stadium, relatively new stadium. It's an intimate stadium in the sense that the noise there, kind of like Manhattan at Bill Snyder Family Stadium, the noise level is magnified because of how it's constructed, even though it doesn't hold a zillion people. So there's a lot to like about McLean Stadium. I actually just drove past it last night on my way down to San Antonio. There's a lot to like about Baylor. There's a lot to like about the city of Waco. But you're spot on with the acknowledgement that he's going to go to Waco, he's going to go to Baylor, he's going to go to McLean Stadium, and he will not see anything that holds a candle environment-wise to what he just witnessed in Norman, Oklahoma last weekend. Because if you wanted to hit all the marks with a kid like that, you hit him. Best environment I've ever seen, Tyler. A defensive masterclass by Venables and his starting 11. And, of course, an upset win and a field rush.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you've been to McLean Stadium, but did you ever go to the old Floyd Casey Stadium where they had a tarp in one end zone that just says, "This is Bear Country" out there because they couldn't fill the stadium? They had a freaking tarp in one of the end zones. What a place that was. Blake, we got an off-air call for a question, by the way.
Yeah, someone just called in. By the way, feel free to use our Knippmeyer Chevrolet text line. That's a great way to reach out to us. We'll definitely hit a lot of those. But someone just wanted to ask, instead of all the people that, are borderline guys that are on the fray still, if you could just go over a recap real quickly, kind of position by position, guys that you feel are for sure locked in, going to be suited up in Norman next season.
So out of the class that's currently committed at 20 right now, just like some of the guys essentially that feel really locked in?
Absolutely cemented. They're going to be wearing the crimson and cream.
Okay, so here, interesting question, because were some a little bit nervous about Marcus Wimberly last week? Well, or I guess not maybe so much Marcus Wimberly. Maybe they were more concerned about Omarion Robinson. But
Robinson, yes.
Yeah, I did see Marcus Wimberly basically quote tweet Caleb Burns last night and say, hey, pal, you know what the decision is here. We want you in this class. So if we're going to talk about guys that immediately I think that you should feel good about, maybe he's not number one, but Marcus Wimberly tweeting out, just come home, brudda, at Caleb Burns 7. That'd be a pretty decent place to start. One of the better players in Arkansas.
Yeah, that kid is all the way locked in. I mean, let's just go through here. Grayson Harris, no worries. Elijah Thomas, no worries. Marcus James, Trinae Washington, Alex Shieldknight, those are in-state kids. Don't got to sweat it. Owen Hollenbeck, his family is moving to Oklahoma. Don't got to worry about him. Ryan Foje, boy, he might be the most vocal on social media about the solidity of his commitment to Oklahoma. Torrey Blaylock, no concerns there. Trent Wilson, no. Malik Hawkins has a brother that's on the roster. Don't got to sweat that. Cortland Guillory, he has flirted with Texas, but that is not a concern as of right now. Tristan Haynes, Marcus Harris, those guys aren't going anywhere. Darius Afalava, he's all the way locked in. CJ Nixon, yes, Weatherford, Oklahoma's finest. Don't got to be at all concerned about that situation. So that leaves you with 4 guys, Tyler. 4 guys that I think there's a legitimate level of concern here. Maybe not the same level of concern, maybe not an overwhelming level of concern, but the 4 guys that you're not 100% sure about right now are Manny Choice, Cortez Mills, Michael Fasusi, Omarion Robinson. Those are the 4 guys that you're probably going to be sweating a little bit. Are probably going to have you sweating a little bit going into National Signing Day next Wednesday.
Okay, out of those 4, and this may be a difficult question. Maybe it's an easy question because, Fasusi's taken a visit on Saturday, took a visit last Saturday. Cortez Mills took a visit at some point. Who's on the higher end of this? Who's on the lower end of most likely to flip with 1 week until signing day?
I would say that since Omarion Robinson and Manny Choice were in the building on Saturday and got to watch that upset win over Alabama, you're a little less concerned, given that you just made a really, really definitive closing impression with those 2 dudes. Cortez Mills has only been to campus 2, maybe 3 times. Michael Fasusi was in Austin rather than in Norman this last weekend. So I think the 2 guys that are of preeminent concern amongst those 4 are Fasusi and Mills.
Yeah. 405-651-3439. Keep the text coming. Zach from Guthrie says, think Malik waits to see what his brother does with the transfer portal? I just have a feeling Michael Hawkins is staying. That's just me,
yeah, boy. Trust me. Michael Hawkins is staying. As of right, unless something drastically changes, Michael Hawkins is not going anywhere. And moreover, not only is Malik Hawkins planning on signing early on Wednesday, Malik Hawkins is also planning on joining Oklahoma for bowl prep, as some of those early signees often do. Last year, I think there might have been 6 or 7. Xavier Robinson, David Stone, Jaden Jackson, Michael Hawkins, Wyatt Gilmore. I think Danny Okoye did it as well. There were 6, 7, maybe 8 guys that joined
Didn't
Oklahoma.
Chapman McCown do it for the Cheez-It Bowl 2 years ago?
Yeah, so the guys that in that class that did it were Chapman McCown, Caleb Hicks, Derek LeBlanc, R.I.P., and Champ Sanders. They had 4 of them.
Okay, a lot of questions. Before we hit the break, let's get to this. A lot of people asking about the quarterback situation in this class. Will we hear about the quarterback from Muskogee soon? Haven't listened in the last couple of days. I mean, is it Jamarian Ficklin or bust at quarterback for this class in 2025? And he's going to have to make a quick decision.
It doesn't seem like they're moving on Ficklin. It doesn't seem like it. I think the likelihood right now is that Oklahoma stands pat. A week ago, I would have said, yep. I mean, they've been laying the groundwork for Ficklin for a long, long time. They've been laying the groundwork for that pursuit, and all of a sudden the path was clear. Kevin Sperry is now no longer in the class. You have the ability to go and pursue and take Jamarian Ficklin. And so it made all the sense in the world that the Sooners would go full speed ahead with the southpaw from Muskogee. And there's been no traction. Like, there's been no push from Oklahoma there to coax him away from that official visit to Utah, because Oklahoma could have made an effort to get him on campus last weekend. Instead, they just didn't really fight him on his decision to go out to Utah for an official visit. as it stands today, 1 week until National Signing Day, they have not yet offered Jamarian Ficklin. And so I think you have to assume for the moment that Oklahoma is just going to be content to coast into the offseason without a quarterback take in the 2025 cycle.
I wonder if that's a little bit of a hint for us as to what's going to happen via the transfer portal. You know, I mean, could be. Could very well be a little bit of a hint as to what might happen coming up here pretty soon. 918, does Casey Thompson have a 10th year of eligibility? And nowadays in college football, I guess you never know. I would not guess that Casey Thompson has a 10th year of eligibility, but was really, really awesome that because he didn't get to come in via the main game or in the main game, but he did get to come in for the Alabama game, which is pretty sweet. Really, really cool. All right, 405-651-3439, Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. A lot to get to today. We'll get to more recruiting. We'll get to OU LSU, and, of course, the latest on the OU offensive coordinator search as well. And, hey, since Blake Gamble's in with us today, a little 6A1 semifinal action coming up in the state of Oklahoma as well. We'll do all that right here on the Ref. We're the home of Sooner fans. Horns Down Apple Pie Liquor is not your grandma's apple pie unless your grandma was a moonshiner with a PhD in flavor. This all-natural, 6-time distilled spirit is sure to light up any party, tailgate, or special occasion. Whether toasting a touchdown or yelling at the Yums because Spike was safe, Horns Down Apple Pie is the perfect drink for celebrating the highs and lows of life in Oklahoma. Horns Down celebrates all of you who cheer from the berm, tailgate, on Lindsay Streak, and wreak havoc on social media. You can find our red bottle at your local liquor store or search for your closest location at drinkhornsdown.com.
Call 405-360-6764 and schedule an appointment today.
Fowler Automotive is proud to be a part of your community, where our passion and values lie far beyond the showroom. We believe that families, sports, art, and culture are at the heart of every thriving community, and it's important to us that we help build the communities that our dealerships call home. Stop by any of our 6 Oklahoma dealerships to see the Fowler Standard hard at work. We pride ourselves on being friendly, helpful, honest, and fair. This is what drives us every day. Fowler Automotive, a proud partner of OU Athletics. How about this? We're hanging out with the winningest coach in OU football history, Bob Stoops, Mondays on the T-Row in the Morning Show. It's the Stoops Review with the HBC on the T-Row Show, Mondays from 7:45 to 8:30 with limited commercial interruption. Every Monday, we'll be looking back at Saturday's OU game with a guy who knows what he's looking at. Bob Stoops, the Visor, the HBC on our show every Monday. Check it out. The holidays are approaching, and Balfour of Norman can help you make it a Crimson and Cream Christmas for everyone. Locally owned for more than 45 years, Balfour on Campus Corner has always been a favorite of Sooner fans. For holiday decorating, you will find Christmas ornaments, stockings, Christmas cards, and other decorations, including a 7-foot-tall inflatable Santa. Additionally, Balfour has something for every Sooner fan on your shopping list. Their friendly staff will help you find just the right thing for everyone. With sizes from newborn through adults, there is a great selection of shirts, polos, hoodies, shorts, pants, hats, and even socks. All from great brands like Jordan, Nike, Champion, Antigua, Hype and Vice, and many more. There is also a great selection of gift items like automotive accessories, golf gear, serving pieces, and decorative displays. You can even custom order OU cowboy boots or their newest item, an OU electric bike. So stop by the store on Campus Corner for all the latest and greatest in OU gear, or shop online at crimsonproud.com, where you will find everything Sooner.
At Oklahoma Electric Cooperative and OEC Fiber, being a local cooperative means more than just doing business. It's about building a community. We're owned and operated by people just like you, ensuring that every voice is heard and every decision strengthens us all. A core principle of cooperatives is concern for community. That means we are located here, right in your backyard, creating jobs, supporting local initiatives, and providing you more individualized, reliable service. OEC and OEC Fiber, that's the power of connection.
Schumacher Law Group, when experience matters. Tracy Schumacher is a former prosecutor and former district judge. Whether it's a probate challenge, criminal charges, or contentious divorce proceedings, experience matters. The attorneys at Schumacher Law Group provide compassionate, knowledgeable advice, all while fighting for your best interests. Find Schumacher Law Group online at lawgroupok.com or call 405-701-1882. Hometown lawyers ready to fight for you when experience matters.
I'm Gina Mitchell of Mitchell's Jewelry. 2024 calls for something spectacular. We're adding it together for a 20 plus 24 Black Friday sale. That's right, 44% off throughout the store. We're closed for Thanksgiving, but our Black Friday savings begin Sunday, November 24th and continue through Saturday, November 30th. Don't make Santa guess. Now's the time to get your wish list ready because Santa loves a great sale too. Mitchell's Jewelry in the heart of Norman at 2201 West Main Street.
Locked in with McComas and Thune, live on the ref for the home of Sooner fans. Tyler McComas, Parker Thune, Ref Farm. You're listening worldwide via the free KREF app. Just search KREF in the App Store. Honolulu, Hawaii is tuned in today. Rapid City, South Dakota. Columbus, Ohio. Fort Smith, Arkansas. Virginia Beach, Virginia. Buffalo, New York. Lincoln, Nebraska. Purcell, Oklahoma, all tuned in via the free KREF app. And our Ref Army locator brought to you by Horns Down Apple Pie, which I'll be bringing to Baton Rouge, Louisiana this weekend. But, hey, this Wednesday night, the night before Thanksgiving, one of the biggest drinking days of the entire year. So if you are planning on partaking this evening or tomorrow with family, Horns Down Apple Pie, a great selection, especially for rivalry weekend coming up in college football. DrinkHornsDown.com. Horns Down Apple Pie. Okay, let's get to some Oklahoma high school football playoffs in 6A1 real quick. Blake, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe we have Owasso, we have Bixby and Edmond Memorial, correct?
Absolutely.
And then Owasso and Jinx in the semifinals.
Yep, those are the big matchups, and quite frankly, I think they are truly the four best teams in 6A1. Bixby has already, Owasso and Jinx have already faced off this year, and I think that's basically a coin toss game. Yeah. Jinx lost earlier this year in that matchup. Owasso seemed like the team to beat, but I like how Jinx has been playing down the stretch. Their defense is impressive, and I mean, there's a guy I think a lot of people have heard about at tailback.
Hashtag tell it, maybe?
Yeah, the son of a former Sooner, and that Sooner back in his day at Jinx had a game that is literally named after him, the Kewan Jones game, and I would not be surprised if there's a Katie Jones game at some point in the playoffs. So I kind of like Jinx in that game to pull what maybe some people might view as an upset. I think Jinx could win the whole thing.
Yeah, well, Caden Jones, man, Parker, he's been as advertised this year, and I'm excited what he can do next season as well.
Caden Jones, man, he is without question one of the absolute best players in the state of Oklahoma, regardless of class. Really, really special at the running back position. And, man, workhorse backs, those three down backs, they're hard to find, especially in this day and age in college football. But that's what Caden Jones is, man. Obviously been a high priority for a long time for OU. He's going to go through the recruitment process, enjoy it, milk it for all it's worth. We've discussed that previously, but man, I still do think that's a guy that there's a very high percentage that Oklahoma ultimately adds to the fold in the 2026 class, which would be a boon because I think he's going to be an excellent college player.
Seems we have some breaking news. I'll get to that one second. Thank you, text line. Thank you, YouTube live chat, for letting me know about that. Edmond Memorial and Bixby. Bixby's been running things for quite a bit here, Blake. Edmond Memorial looked really good last weekend against a Norman team that beat Bixby in the final game of the regular season. Does the West Side have a chance here? Can Edmond Memorial get to the state championship?
Ooh, man, that is the question, right? Bixby, all they do is win state titles. All they do is bring home gold balls. 9 out of the last 10 years, they have won state. And it's all about the offensive side of the ball for them. They've scored over 40 points in all but 2 games this season, I believe. And they have an outstanding wide receiver, Blake Hogshooter, as well as the final Presley brother, I believe, hopefully for other high school football programs in the state. But Memorial is equipped to slow down the game. They have David McComb at quarterback, but they've started running the ball more with him. They do a ball control type thing, and they shut down Norman last week, which surprised a ton of people because, like you said, they were coming in hot off of that Bixby victory. And I think they could pull off what a lot of people would be considering to be an upset, but I don't know. Bixby's offense is insane.
Hard to pick against Bixby, man.
It is. It is.
I'm making a point not to pick against Bixby.
Yeah,
I'll be wrong when Bixby goes down. Until then, I am riding with Bixby all the way because they just seem to be absolutely invincible come postseason play.
And if you haven't actually watched them play, it's almost impossible to prep for them in just 1 week. They run a type of offense where all their skill position players could be receiver, could be running back, could throw the ball. It's almost like a flag football-esque offense with so much pre-snap motion and that sort of thing. Memorial's got a great defense, but I think it's going to be Bixby.
Yeah. Breaking news on the OU recruiting fronts. Again, thank you, text line. Thank you, YouTube Live. I can't always check everything that's going on social media during the show, so genuinely, I appreciate that you throw this our way. Fong, Steve Wilt Fong, he has just fonged Caleb Burns to the University of Oklahoma. I guess he had his pick in for Oregon. I'm not sure when he had that prediction in for Oregon, but now he's flipped it to Oklahoma. Steve is easily one of the most respected guys in the business. Parker, that comes a week from early signing day. I got to view that as a fantastic sign.
Okay, here's and not to put a bucket on the campfire, Tyler, but let me explain to you something here. Steve's pick was in for Oregon. Steve will occasionally, and it makes sense when you understand the business and the desire to get predictions right. That's what everybody wants to do. Everybody wants to get all their predictions right. He can't go back to Baylor because Caleb Burns is still committed to Baylor. So it's not like Steve can put in a prediction in Baylor's favor because the kid's already committed there. So we know and have long known it's not going to be Oregon, right? Oregon is just kind of in there nominally. And so Steve has to bail on the Oregon pick one way or another because that's obviously wrong. It's going to be wrong if he were to stick with it. And because he can't go back to Baylor with the pick and he can't stay on Oregon, well, it has to go on Oklahoma. And so, yes, while that is a good sign, and yes, while there no doubt is intel that points to Oklahoma being in strong shape with Caleb Burns, I would caution against viewing Steve's pick as the final stamp, if you will. Oh, yep, that kid's coming to Oklahoma.
Too late. Already got my hopes up. Too late. He's coming to Oklahoma. That's what I'm reading into it now. Hopefully that happens. Hopefully it happens that he comes to Oklahoma, of course, is what I'm talking about there. But that prediction is in for Wilt Fong. Also, some I don't know if you call this breaking or not. We will not see Oklahoma in the home uniforms on Saturday. LSU wore gold uniforms against Vanderbilt last weekend, so I thought, they're going to wear their traditional home white uniforms with the yellow helmet there in Baton Rouge. LSU football sent out a tweet. It says, combo for the last game in Tiger Stadium in 2024. I got to say this, as a traditionalist, I hate this. LSU's going to be wearing their white helmets with their purple uniform, white pants. So OU will be wearing – I do love the fact that OU will be wearing the road whites, the best uniform that OU has, the best uniform in all of college football, in my opinion. It looks fantastic, but I don't know. I guess LSU wearing the purple jerseys. A little bit of a bummer to me, I guess.
Yeah, that's a major buzzkill. And I have no doubt Uncle in his spot on Friday is going to have a comment or two about the color purple.
Yeah. So, all right. OU wearing the road whites on Saturday, not the home uniforms with the LSU's home whites. A little bit of a disappointment there. Okay, Alex from Manford says, I can't say this enough that the coach will not take the UNC job, in my opinion, but this is a question that I would like your guys' opinion on. Which is a better job, UNC or Ole Miss? Alex from Manford wants to know, what's a better job, North Carolina or the Ole Miss Rebels? I think historically that is a very, very fascinating question. because neither program has really done a whole lot in the past, 25, 30 years or so. Ole Miss has had some recent success. They did win they won the Peach Bowl last year. North Carolina made it to an Orange Bowl in the COVID 2020 year. But historically, they may be pretty comparable jobs. Ole Miss has been a more difficult job being in the SEC over time. But I think you have to evaluate things now, Parker, with the collectives. What does the NIL look like? Clearly, Ole Miss is ready and willing to spend a whole lot of money to go get players via the transfer portal. I don't know if that's the same case or not with North Carolina. Clearly, they're a basketball school first, so I don't know. It's an easier path to victory, I guess, at UNC. But just in terms of what you have available, I might give Ole Miss the slight edge just because of how much they're giving right now to their football program.
Yeah, the edge isn't slight to me. Ole Miss is quite measurably the better job in 2024. There's so much more support there for the sport of football.
The only thing that makes me hesitate is just how much more of a difficult road it is for Ole Miss than it is North Carolina. But in terms of like the resources that are there, it definitely feels like Ole Miss.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think anybody at Ole Miss minds that it's a difficult road. Shoot, Oklahoma fans don't mind being in the SEC now instead of the Big 12. Yeah, it's a more difficult road, but at least if you navigate it and you get to the other end and you make the playoff field, you're going to be much more battle-tested than the Big 12 would have ever put you through.
405, first-time texter. How about that? Thanks for joining the show. I think OU's biggest mistake this offseason will be if Jackson Arnold enters the transfer portal. With a healthy wide receiver core, he can be an elite passer. Imagine getting that text a week ago. Imagine getting that text 2 weeks ago. What a win can do for you, man.
Yeah, and look, I don't know what happens with Jackson Arnold. I think you have to lean towards him not returning in 2025 just because of the circumstances and what we expect to happen with the OC hire and what we expect the new offensive coordinator to do in terms of acquiring an additional quarterback. But there's a chance Jackson Arnold's back in the Crimson and Cream next year. I don't think it's a likelihood, but there's a chance. And at that point, man, you might have the most intriguing quarterback battle in the country between pick your transfer, Jackson Arnold, and Michael Hawkins as well.
Yeah. Chris Tate says, if there was one team on the schedule I wanted to win over anyone besides Texas, it is LSU. The sacrifices I had to make to root for those filthy Cajuns against Muleshoe, and they let me down, is unforgivable. That's a good point, Chris. All right? It's like, oh, God, I guess I'm going to root for LSU on this opening weekend on this Sunday. Like, oh, gee, GEAUX, go Tigers and everything, all for them to lose and blow a lead in the second half. That's a great reason. I've got 2019 Peach Bowl as a reason. I definitely have how we were treated in the Sugar Bowl National Championship as a reason as well. I got a lot of reasons why I want OU to go down there and hammer LSU. And I think they can, Parker. I really think that they can. I did see a couple of score predictions on 24/7 Sports today. LSU 27, OU 20. So OU losing by 7. And then LSU 26, OU 20. So a couple of predictions there that think it's going to be right around a touchdown. I mean, we could talk about this game every which way that you want, but all the key factors from this game basically come down to what we saw last Saturday and everything that we've been talking about now for the past 3 months. Can they run the ball consistently? Can they take care of the football? Can they limit penalties and turnovers? And if they can do that offensively, then they'll be in great shape to win this game.
Let me give you even more reason for optimism, Tyler. The transitive property suggests that OU is a cool 50 points better than LSU.
Ooh, I like to hear this. Bama?
Bama. OU beat them by 21. Bama beat LSU by 29.
So Jackson Arnold's going to run for 5 touchdowns then? If Miller ran for 4?
Yes, 5 touchdowns, 300-something yards, and the final score will be 59-9. There you go.
Well, if he runs for 5 touchdowns and had the numbers that you just mentioned there, the text that we just got about, hey, OU would make a massive mistake in the offseason of letting Jackson Arnold go, we might be flooded with those texts coming up next week of how the mind can change so quickly. 405-651-3439, Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. A lot of freshmen will be out on the field on Saturday, and You know, we'll see how the season ends. It could end with 6 wins. It could end with 7 wins. It could win with 8 wins. But, you know, when we start to look to next year and try to find, you know, the positives, how many positives there are to talk about. But when we find the positives from this year and start to apply them to next year, I'm going to guess that we're probably going to start, Parker, with how impactful this 2024 class has been this year. And not impactful in that they've had to play a lot of snaps, but impactful in just how big of an impact they've had in so many games this year. I mean, you think of, you know, Michael Hawkins helped you get your first SEC win. Xavier Robinson looks like your best player on offense. Jaden Jackson, according to Cole Kublik, is one of the better defensive tackles in all of college football right now. Not just freshman defensive tackles, all defensive tackles in the sport. Eli Bowen looks like a star in the making, right? Michael Boganowski looks like he can be a big-time player for you. I mean, this freshman class has contributed at a level that I can't remember another freshman class, you know, contributing at in the past.
This freshman class has championship pieces all over the place, Tyler. And championship pieces don't make a championship program. And one of the big challenges moving forward is going to be roster retention. And I've had a few conversations with people this week that, you know, they as much as I do understand that it's going to be a battle this offseason to keep some of those kids from the 2024 class that are finishing up their freshman year in the fold at Oklahoma, not necessarily because they want to leave, but because there's going to be a major market for their services. And there are going to be teams that are doing their best to work the back channels and coax them into the transfer portal with the promise of more money. Like, this is something that people in the OU corner are legitimately worried about. It's something that every single program in the country has to be worried about, Tyler, because there are no rules anymore. Yes, there are rules, but I guess there are no rules that can't be circumvented. There is a way to circumvent every single rule that the NCAA has laid down as far as the acquisition and retention of talent. Yeah. And so I would say the majority of the battle for Oklahoma this offseason is not going to be going to the portal to find additional what's the word I'm looking for? I just completely blanked. The word is staring me in the face. Additional This is so frustrating, Tyler. I have no idea what word I'm searching for.
Additional right badasses. Now. That's the word that
you're
looking
exactly.
for. Huh?
Okay, well, we'll go with that. It's the majority of the battle is not going to be going and finding those guys via the portal. It's going to be keeping all of those guys that fit the bill that are on your roster right now on the roster.
100%. TJ Ribbs, by the way, guys, for those of you that are making your way down to Baton Rouge, and if you're going to be there on Friday, TJ Ribbs is where we're going to be at from 2 to 6 p.m. Come by, say hello. We'll have some cool ref swag to give away, I should say. But some OU fans going to be out at TJ Ribbs 2 to 6 p.m. on Friday. Going to be a lot of fun in Baton Rouge. We'll close up Locked In. Coming up next, let's get to the offensive coordinator discussion. Let's get to the top 10 players in the state of Oklahoma for 2025 according to Rivals, and your text as well right here on the Ref. Hornsdown Apple Pie Liquor is not your grandma's apple pie unless your grandma was a moonshiner with a PhD in flavor. This all-natural, 6-time distilled spirit is sure to light up any party, tailgate, or special occasion. Whether toasting a touchdown or yelling at the Yums because Spike was safe, Hornsdown Apple Pie is the perfect drink for celebrating the highs and lows of life in Oklahoma. Hornsdown celebrates all of you who cheer from the berm, tailgate, on Lindsay Streak, and wreak havoc on social media. You can find our red bottle at your local liquor store or search for your closest location at drinkhornsdown.com.
Don't miss our Digital Dash giveaway every Friday in November.
Play with your wild card to win your share of over $120,000.
The best food, drinks, and service only at Riverwind.
Hey guys, TJ here for my friends over at Joe's Wines and Spirits. The holidays are close, and we're all looking to save a little money. And what's the best way to save money on your wine, liquor, or beer? Do what I do. Go to Joe's Wines and Spirits. They've got the best selection in town and the best prices. Joe's is open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Sundays from noon to 5. Their experts can help you find the perfect drink for you and your holiday party or that perfect gift. Go see them today, 1330 East Alameda, right here in Norman.
The Mont invites you to come by and enjoy our high-quality food and drinks in our historic atmosphere. The Mont has won numerous awards, including Best Restaurant in Norman, Best Appetizer for our great queso, Best Exotic Drink for the original swirl, the Best Patio Dining for our beautifully landscaped patio. Come see the Town Tavern OU football scoreboards dating back to 1947. We'll see you at the Mont on the corner of Boyd and Classen, or call us at 329-3330.
It's football time in Oklahoma. While you enjoy the game and tailgate, let Scissortail Roofing and Construction handle your roofing or construction project from start to finish. Whether it's a damage from a storm or a full construction project, we have you covered. Call us today at 405-928-8089 or visit us online at scissortailroofing.com for a free estimate. Hit by hail? Call Scissortail today, your trusted local roofing and construction company.
What are you waiting for? If you're anything like me, that question keeps you up at night. So don't wait for someone else's green light. Do the things you love right now at Moore Norman Tech. We'll get you out of the classroom and into the real world with hands-on experience in whatever feeds your fire. So get after it. Oklahoma needs more doers, and doers don't wait. Moore Norman Tech, powered by Oklahoma Career Tech.
Get your ugliest holiday sweater out of the closet. Put together a team or register as an individual and make your way to Legacy Park on December 14th, 9 a.m. for the Norman and Parks Rec annual Ugly Christmas Sweater 5K run. Pay $30 for a shirt and medal and have your race timed or run untimed for free. Prices increase on December 1st, so sign up early. Go to Norman Parks and Rec on Facebook for more information.
Hi Norman, it's DJ Newsom with Alliance Bank, your community-driven, friendly neighborhood bank. Whether you're a budding entrepreneur, lead a nonprofit organization, or just someone seeking a better banking experience, we've got you covered. From business to personal banking, we tailor our services to suit everyone's needs. We believe in making banking easy and enjoyable. Visit our Norman location or call us today at 405-286-5750. Alliance Bank, banking tailored to your needs. Member FDIC.
Hey guys, it's TJ here from the T-Row in the Morning Show. Small Business Saturday is coming up on November 30th, and it's the perfect time to shop local here in Norman. From unique gifts to amazing eats, our small businesses have it all. Plus, when you shop small, you're supporting the people and the places that make Norman such a great place to live. So skip the big box stores on November 30th and show some love to Norman's small businesses. Grab a coffee, visit a local shop, and make a big impact this holiday season.
Dorsey Jones, Buick GMC in El Reno, bringing this hour of Locked In with McComas and Thune. Dorsey Jones is family-owned and operated, established in 2020, but many of their employees have been there for more than 20 years. They pride themselves on having the best service technicians and friendly service advisors that put your needs first. They also have half-price oil changes on Saturdays. Check them out in El Reno, Dorsey Jones Buick GMC. Jim from Norman says, been to TJ Ribs many a times. The baby back ribs are very good. If you failed to get the apple cobbler with 2 scoops of ice cream, you've wasted your trip. How big of a disaster do you think it would be, Parker, if I try to do the radio show while also eating baby back ribs and apple cobbler with 2 scoops of ice cream?
I know a station that would do that. It's not us, though.
At least I'd wait till the break. It'd be like live on air.
Yeah, that would be quality entertainment on YouTube, though. You could pull that off on YouTube. Probably not on the radio.
Yeah, barbecue sauce all over the headset or something by the time I'm done. All right, it still feels like Ben Arbuckle is the favorite for the offensive coordinator job. It's felt that way for, at least a week now. Okay, let's start here. What would be your level of surprise if a week from today, National Signing Day, we still don't know officially who the next OU offensive coordinator is?
I would be utterly stunned. There's absolutely no way that can happen. And trust me, everybody in the OU circle knows there's absolutely no way that can happen. You have to have this hire made as soon as possible once the regular season is over. You've had a month and a half to line it up.
I'd be really concerned and really worried if it wasn't like, okay, what went wrong here? Like, what's happening? What's going on? So we'd have a change of heart all of a sudden. Someone now in a position that they didn't think that they would be in a week ago. What's that? So look, things can happen. We got probably less than a week till it's made official, but it definitely seems like Ben Arbuckle is still the favorite at this point. So really, I think at least one of the most important questions is not necessarily who the favorite is or who we think it's going to be. Like, I'm speaking for you here, so interrupt me if I'm overstepping, but I think that we would both agree that we think Ben Arbuckle is going to be the next offensive coordinator at Oklahoma. My question would be, who's number 2 right now in terms of most likely? If we listed odds for the next OC, who would have the second highest odds? Would it be Joe Craddock at Tulane? Cade Bell at Pitts?
Man.
That one's a little bit more difficult.
I've been up and down on Craddock and the likelihood of that hire throughout the process. If you made me pick a number 2, I would probably go with him, though, because I go back to what Brent Venables mentioned in his press conference yesterday when asked about the qualities that he looks for in an offensive coordinator and the things that he does with his scheme. One of the things he specifically referenced is ball control. Take a guess at who's number 1 in the nation in time of possession, Tyler. The Tulane Green Wave.
Yeah, that's not shocking. Be nice if time of possession was a little bit better around here. That's for sure, especially on the defensive side. But yeah, who's second? Maybe a little bit tougher there, but still feels like Ben Arbuckle is the favorite, and we'll see if it ends up that way. Coming up, I think once we get back on Monday, I mean, we'll probably be breaking down the LSU game a little bit. But it's going to be full steam ahead on the next offensive coordinator in Oklahoma. There's probably a chance we could hear something on Monday when we get back.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it'll take till Monday. I don't think it would. I think if it doesn't break during the game on Saturday, it will absolutely break on Sunday. As far as when the official announcement gets made from Oklahoma, I mean, those things can take time, even after it's clear and obvious that it's happening and the news has been broken by the top-tier national reporters, guys like Pete Thamel and Ross Dellinger and Brett McMurphy and what have you. Brett McMurphy is your guy, right?
Apparently, I didn't know that Brett McMurphy was my guy, or I was his, or whatever that situation looked like. I had no idea until at SEC Media Day he tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Hey, buddy, can you get me a Shiner Bock?" I'm like, huh? They're free. All you have to do is go. It's an open bar. It's a media event. Well, sorry, they'll only let me get 2 at a time. Can you go up there and get me another one so I can have a third at a time? I guess. There's all these people here. I don't know why you asked me.
Was he was trying to drink 3 beers at once?
I don't know if he was trying to drink 3 beers, if he was trying to get one for someone else. Maybe he was trying to drink 3 beers at once. I have no idea.
McMurphy's a Oklahoma State alum, you know.
He is, yeah.
Professionals at tailgating, football comes last, or after that.
Guess he never loses a party.
There you go.
He didn't lose that party right there. That's for sure. But then, Blake, I'm looking around. What made me stand out over everyone else? Did he say, okay, who looks like the raging alcoholic in this room, so I'm going to ask this guy? Did he say, oh, this guy, there ain't no way he'll say no to me. I'm definitely going to ask him. Or was it completely random? I've thought about this a lot.
Apparently, you were the guy that looked the most like you'd be starstruck by someone like Brett McMurphy.
Well, we got bad news here. Not the reality. Had my back turned to him. I did not expect that. Turban Meyer says, thanks for working today, suckers. Appreciated. Appreciate you, Turban Meyer. And a happy Thanksgiving to all of you out there. Appreciate you tuning in. I'm sure most of you, or at least I hope most of you had the day off today. But for all of those that are working, had the day off, appreciate you guys tuning in on this Wednesday. 918, just seen LSU is wearing the purple alternate Saturday. I know, I hate it. You guys hate it too? Do you care one way or the other what uniforms are being worn? Blake, you wish LSU was wearing the white with the yellow helmets?
OU's white road uniforms are great, so I think it doesn't – it's a chance to wear those, but I think it would have been an all-timer to have OU's reds versus LSU's whites.
Yeah. Parker, you care one way or the other, or do you want to see LSU's white uniforms and OU's home uniforms?
I wanted the standard uniform matchup. I wanted the white tops for the Tigers, and I wanted the Sooners to get to wear the crimson. But It is what it is. You can't always get what you want, as the Rolling Stones once said.
Or as the 2024 football season once said, as the
also
6-5 right now. So I'll quote them as well. Hey, Rivals did update their top 10 in the state of Oklahoma, and there's a bit of movement here. Elijah Thomas, still the number one player in the state for 2025, four-star wide receiver, OU commit. Nate Roberts still at number 2, four-star tight end, Ohio State commit. Tristan Haynes at 3, four-star corner at a Carl Albert, OU commit. C.J. Nixon at 4, defensive end out of Weatherford, OU commit. Broderick Scholl, offensive tackle from Bixby, the number 5 overall player, Auburn commits. Trinae Washington, tight end commit from Carl Albert to OU at number 6. Grady Adamson, quarterback from Deer Creek, Georgia Tech commit at number 7. Marcus James, linebacker commits, Carl Albert High School, OU commit at number 8. David McComb, quarterback out of Edmond Memorial, KU commit, Blake, at number 9 in the Rivals rankings. That kid can go.
He's legit. He's legit.
And then Caden Knighton, Baylor commits, running back out of Wynnewood, coming in at number 10. Any issues there, Parker, with the new top 10? Grady Adamson at 7, David McComb at number 9, who enters into the top 10. I think pretty much top to bottom, that's pretty solid. Maybe some would disagree with Broderick Scholl at number 5. I don't know.
Perhaps, and I feel like you're almost going to start. You're almost going to have to start making room for Jamarian Ficklin in that top 10, regardless of whether he winds up at Oklahoma or not. What he has done at Muskogee these last few years have made it somewhat undeniable. But that's a pretty solid top 10. If anybody's underrated, I'll say this: I think it's Grady Adamson. Big fan of Grady Adamson. That dude is going to be very successful at Georgia Tech, whether it is in Buster Faulkner's offense or someone else's.
Cody from the Northeast Corner, which uniforms did they beat our ass in? Let's not wear those. Yeah, I guess last time it was the home uniforms, and the last 2 matchups have been that. So maybe a change of scenery will do OU quite well, which many of you are commenting on right now. Reform Sooner OSU with no commitments from the top 10. I saw last night, 2 nights ago, they had a decommit from the state of Florida, but yeah, no commits in the top 10 players from the state of Oklahoma. That's not what you want there, that's for sure. David from Norman says, who says Arbuckle is leading to be our next OC? Have either one of you talked to him? Have either one of you talked to BV about it? This is nothing but pure guessing. My bet is that BV selects someone that has not been mentioned or only been mentioned casually. Who would that be if we're not thinking of who it is and only someone that's been mentioned casually?
That's a great question.
Buster Faulkner?
I don't think it's going to be Buster Faulkner. I would not be moved by that hire. I think many would not be moved by that hire. If it's going to be somebody completely out of left field, it's going to be a huge name. It would be like a Dan Mullen type name.
Yeah.
If it was somebody that we hadn't been talking about.
I think Dan Mullen's probably in hot pursuit of that North Carolina job right now.
Oh, yes.
If I had to guess. Very hot pursuit. Hey, want to let you guys know what's going on at Sooner Bowl right here in Norman. Let's strike out hunger right here in our hometown of Norman. You bring the cans, we'll give you a discount on the pins. For November and December, receive a great discount on bowling for a donation to their can food drive. Special pricing Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and all their donations will go to Norman Public School Pantry. So that's at Sooner Bowl right here in Norman, and with a donation to their drive, you'll receive a special price on bowling. So pretty good deal there. Pretty cool deal, obviously, as well, at Sooner Bowl Center. The Tony Romo jokes, at least not yet, are getting old to me. Guy from Parts Unknown says, obviously, Tony Romo is the dark horse for the job. And as I said yesterday, it's like we know the reasons. Like, right, his son or one of his sons apparently is a big OU fan. His father-in-law has ties to OU. But if Tony Romo makes his 3rd consecutive OU game this weekend, that might be the point, Parker, where I don't think he's going to be the offensive coordinator or on the staff next year, but it's going to be, all right, what's going on here? Why is Tony Romo deciding to come to all the games now, home or on the road?
Doesn't he have family ties? I think it's like his father-in-law that's an OU grad.
Yeah.
Like, and it's so like, Shoot, if Tony Romo is like the new Brad Pitt, the new celebrity guest, the new celebrity regular on the sidelines, if he's what Matt Kemp was a few years back, I wouldn't hate that.
Well, hopefully he'll donate a lot of money to NIL. Got a pretty nice contract there right now, calling games on Sunday. All right, that'll do it for Locked In. The Rush is coming up next. 3 hours of college football coming your way. Well, we also have OU basketball coming up in 1 hour. Sooners will take on Providence on ESPN2. OU currently listed as a 1.5-point favorite. So we'll keep you updated on that. We'll talk OU LSU coming up next right here on The Ref.